Okay, go ahead. Let mommy finish, please. Hi guys, I am back with another video, and today's video is one you guys have been asking me for a pretty long time. I think I just always skipped over it because I never really understood why you guys thought that I would be a good candidate to give dating advice or love life advice, whatever you want to call it, considering the fact that I have had some very unfair things happen and let a lot of very unfair things slide. So I never really understood why you guys would value my advice. And to look at it from a bigger picture, I assume, and I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, that because those unfair things have happened and because I allowed some really unfair things and my perspective on love hasn't changed, and I'm not bitter, I don't hate anybody, I'm just like, okay, well, it's a part of life. I think that's why you guys like value my opinion or want my opinion on it so much. So I figured, let's do it. Let's talk about dating. So we'll get this out the way because I really don't like talking about this part of my life anymore because, you know, once again, like, yes, what happened to me was very unfair and I didn't deserve a lot of it, but it's just, he is just not a factor to me anymore. The situations are not a factor to me anymore. I don't wake up and think about it. I don't move through life thinking about it. I don't cry about the girl that I caught him with 6-7 years ago. Like, it just kind of doesn't exist in my world, and I love that for me. So someone asked, how did I know when I was really over my son's dad? I think when it just got boring, like, and I know that's really bad to say, but it just got boring. The relationship got boring. The women reaching out every so often got boring. It's like, at what point do we change the story and write another script and keep it entertaining, you know? I was extremely bored in every aspect that you could possibly think of in that relationship, and especially the cheating. I'm like, well, I knew you were going to do that because that's just what you do. And so, yeah, I just let myself get bored with it. And once I got bored with it, and I was patient with it, I didn't rush it, even when everybody was telling me, like, yeah, you need to leave, you need to do X, Y, and Z. I knew that I had a newborn, and then I knew that I had a 1-year-old toddler, and I took my time with it. And after 7 years, when I was ready to move on and start dating someone else, I did just that. And I was very honest about it, and I was very clear about why. I am bored. This situation is so boring. I could map out how every month is gonna go. We're gonna have 1 week where we're great, and then the next week you'll do something to mess it up. And I was just really, really bored. I was bored of dumbing down my personality to make him happy. I was bored of the cheating. I was bored of the girls reaching out to me all the time. I was just bored. So yeah, that's when I knew it was just over, because even if you're cheating, and the cheating, as you guys remember, was being blown up like this big because we were in that YouTube space, it just was like, even that's not even entertaining to me. Like, I'm so bored here. And I knew that I could never be happy anywhere that I'm bored. So I have accepted that about myself. I'm going to have to be very careful when choosing a partner, because a bored me is a dangerous me. And before I do anything to anybody that is also unfair, I will just be honest and just say, you know what, I'm not happy here. I'm bored. And that's exactly what I did. And I think it caught him by surprise, because obviously I kept, when I did move on, very discreet, because that's just the type of person I am. I didn't want to embarrass our family any more than it already had been. And yeah, I just got bored. Let yourself get bored. Sometimes you have to let things, and I know this is like one of the darkest things to tell somebody, but for the sake of not going back, I have to let myself personally get bored and just be done with it. Or I'll dibble and I'll dabble and I'll entertain things that don't really make sense. So if I already know that I'm bored and 100% just let it, like, this is boring here, I'm just gonna be gone. What are red flags early on in dating and relationships? As much as I hate to say this, because, you know, I do believe in love at first sight. I do think you can meet a person and know that this is my person and I love you and I want to be with you and I'm willing to take on everything that you have with you. It is not a good thing when somebody is telling you they love you the first month or a few weeks or anything like that. It's a very dangerous, it's a big red flag. It's all of the love bombing, the very early on, overly going out of your way, like moving too fast is a very big red flag. Simply put, whatever moving too fast is to you, it's a red flag. One, because a lot of it is just infatuation. Like somebody is just head over heels about the surface level of everything about you, right? And two, I feel like because if we're right, if we love each other the way we say we do, and we care about each other the way we say we do, and we're willing to go all the whole distance for each other the way we say we want to, why not take our time? You know? And yes, time is limited. We could, you know, anything could happen tomorrow, but as far as we know right now, we have time and we can take our time and we can get to know each other on a deeper level. And we don't have to rush it. Yeah, we can love each other, but if we love each other and it's as real as we believe, we'll be rushing it for. We, God willing, have such a long time on this earth and such a long time to get to know the people that we love and care about. So yeah, I think that is a major red flag. Anybody that is love bombing you, telling you they love you too early on, and we know it, you know, we just get so infatuated with other people that it's fun. And that's what we have to admit to each other. Like, it is so fun to date and be in love, and it just feels good. And so sometimes we ignore all those little red flags because it feels so good. How long did I wait before introducing my kid to a partner? So I have introduced Six to somebody before, and it was prematurely. And I think there's no like right time or amount of time that you can put on it, but it goes back to what I said about, you know, the red flag of moving too fast. I wish I had took my time because, you know, you can leave me. You can change your mind about me. That's okay. I'll be okay. I am a 30-year-old woman. I have my 20s. You know, just being a girl in her 20s or a teenager is, you know, we go through a lot of emotions. So you can leave me, but you can't leave my baby. I just don't like it. I don't allow it. The kid is going through enough. So I think it goes back to that same thing. Like, I'm not sure why I rushed if I was so sure. And so whenever it feels right, whenever you're for sure, yeah, introduce your kid to somebody. Be very careful. Be very cautious. There are babies. They can't defend themselves right now. They can maybe speak up for themselves, but, you know, there's only so much that they understand. And there just should not have been any rush for me to do that. If I was so sure and so right about him, I should have just took my time. And I do appreciate he was great with Six, not saying he did anything wrong, but now that relationship is over and they don't get to see each other as much, and Six asks about him and he misses him. And, you know, it's just as hard as it is for me to process something like that, I could only imagine how hard it is for Six to process something like that, on top of the fact that he's questioning the fact that his dad is no longer around. So I think that the next time I'm going to be like a lot slower with it and keep that one matter of the facts in the back of my mind. Like, if I'm right, what's the rush? We have so much time to do this. God willing. Someone asks, why would a guy say we never connected on any level if he never even put in any effort? It's because he does not want to date you. He doesn't see a future with you. He doesn't see a dynamic with you or connection with you. And as harsh as that sounds, they will make an excuse, a terrible excuse, but before they tell the truth, because I'm just not sure why some of them are programmed that way. So don't take it personal. It might not have been anything that you did. I always tell people, like, if it doesn't work out with somebody, if the guy's not putting in the effort you want, the energy you want, or, you know, he's not choosing you, that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It doesn't mean you're not pretty enough. It doesn't mean your personality is not grand enough. It doesn't mean anything except that you two specific people don't have the chemistry. Like, that's it. And so it's easier not to take things personal. And when you take the step out of those situations and you're kind of honest with yourself and factor in all the qualities that he has, you probably don't feel that connection. It's probably a mutual feeling. You just have to remove your ego and understand that and be honest with yourself. So someone not putting in the effort that you want, it doesn't mean they don't like you or you're not good enough. It just means that you two don't have that connection. And next, like, it saves you time. But yeah, that's just his way of saying that he's just not that into you. And sometimes it's that simple. And you're probably very beautiful and very smart and very funny and all those things that any guy could hope for, just not that specific guy. Maybe he wants somebody a little more toned down, a little less intelligent. But, you know, don't take it personal. But he's just not that into you, and sometimes that's okay. Someone said, I'm 18. Can you give me advice on how I should live life? I think that you should be very selfish, worry about you, make all the decisions you want to make for you. I really been focused on dating. If I could go back, I wish I hadn't spent so much of my teens and my 20s so focused on dating. Sorry, mommy duties. Yes, but I really do wish that I did not put so much of my focus as a teenager and as a woman in her 20s on dating. Like, it happens. And what you also don't realize is that you might think you're ready, or you might say you're ready, or I want this and I want that. And at the age I am now, I'm still not sure if I'm quite ready. And not in the sense of, oh, can I be faithful? I can do all of those things. I can play the relationship role, and I can show up and show out in every way possible, 100%. But it doesn't necessarily mean I'm ready. One argument and I'm a mess. One disagreement and I'm screaming. Like, I want to be as healed as I could possibly be, because there's no point in life where I think you're at like a perfect point of it all. But I do think you shouldn't bring two unhealed people together, or one healed, one not. Or, you know, I think we should both be in I'm very emotionally intelligent. I try to be. And so I know how detrimental it can be being unhealed, introducing a healed person, or dealing with trauma and bringing that to somebody who doesn't have any trauma, or, you know, deals with their trauma differently. So in my 30s, I still have a lot of things to work out. And so I definitely wasn't ready in my 20s. I definitely wasn't ready as a teenager. And yeah, so just focus on yourself and have all the fun you can before life gets serious, because relationships are very serious and they're hard and they take a lot of work and a lot of dedication. And I don't think an 18-year-old or 20-year-old should add any more stress of the world onto their plate that they can't handle. If you can handle it, okay. Me personally, I would have done things differently. Does it hurt when somebody chooses a better person over you, a better girl or a better guy? I think that this kind of piggybacks off the last thing I said, or the thing before that. I don't look at it as better, or she was better than me. I look at it as she just was probably more compatible for him. Like, she was better for him. She Doesn't mean she was prettier than me or anything. It's just that they're more compatible, and that's okay. Like, I want to find the person I'm most compatible with. So it not working out with somebody, it doesn't mean that somebody else was better. It just means that it's not for us two. Dating is the merging of two people. So when you stop looking at it as me, why wasn't I? What could I have done better? It's merging of two people. These two people have to have all these things checked off for each other. They have to be physically attracted to each other, emotionally connected. They have to be sexually connected. They have to be emotionally intelligent. Like, there's so many factors. And if you stop saying me, and realize it's a partnership, you'll start asking questions based off the partnership. So, oh, he didn't choose me. Was I not pretty enough? Instead of that, you'll say like, oh, we didn't work out because maybe we're not as connected as it is not a you problem. Like, sometimes it can be, but you shouldn't look at it from that angle. And you definitely shouldn't look at it from a I angle, because there's no I in Dean, and it'll get easier that way. And it's easier said than done. I am not the dating guru. I do not have my life together by far, but I am like implementing those things. So there's no I in team. There's nobody better than you out here. Your person is going to love everything about you. And if another person lacks something, you doesn't have something you want, you might not, you have to look at it like as a mirror, right? The same way we can be like, oh, well, that's not good enough. They can feel that way too, or not even necessarily that's not good enough, or this is not enough of what I want. So try not to take it so personal. Are you dating? Are you looking for someone, or are you waiting until 6 gets older? I am not. I have somebody that I care about. I do have somebody that I love. I think we all have somebody that we value to a certain extent. But I think after everything that's happened to me and everything that I've been through, I try to move from a more like practical standpoint. And, you know, I know people like to leave out like follow your heart, but sometimes love is logic. You know, you have to be logical about things. You have to be practical with some situations. I think my situation with my son's dad wouldn't have been so bad had I been practical, had I looked at the facts and, you know, made sense of it all from a logical standpoint. It is not a practical situation. And so no matter how much I care about them, it doesn't change that fact. And here's where I say I still might not be ready. I think that I use that dynamic a little bit because it's a safe place, right? Because two things can be true. I can love them and also understand that this would not work for us. I mean, in another universe, we'd probably be perfect together, but this is just not, we're not there. So I kind of look at it like that. That's where I mess up at. It's safe because I know it won't be anything, whether I want it to or not. But it also like kind of, it lets me still have love and feel loved and project love and all the things that you do when you love without the seriousness of it. And that's the bad part, I think, where, like I said, I'm 30 and I'm still probably not 100% ready. I think I hide behind that situation a little, like, this is safe because I know what this is. I don't have to go out and date and be disappointed because this is what it is. And I'm at that point where I really, really do want to start dating and start trying. But I think I'm just a little bit nervous about it, and rightfully so, considering all of the chapters I have had. But yeah, it's not just because I want to wait till 6 is older. I think it's just more so there's a little nervousness to it. You know, it's so much easier to play it safe than it is to just jump out there, but I'm going to do it. Yeah, I do want to date. I have made it my mission this year. Like, you're going to start dating and you're going to start trying. instead of playing it safe because it's the easier thing to do. Yeah, so no, it's not necessarily because 6 is young. It's just like because the world's in a different place. I was outside before I had 6. Like, I have been out. I have seen a lot. I was out partying at a very young age. I was moving and grooving at a very young age. And then I left and had a baby, and I took 7 years off where I was only with the same person. And when I got back outside and finally started dating again, I have never seen it this bad. It is in a bad place. Love has a bad name, and dating is extremely difficult these days. And yeah, people don't trust each other anymore, more than I've ever seen it. He's screaming. And so I'm not gonna like put it all to playing it safe, but I just think it's just not the time right now. Like, kudos to you if you find your partner and you manage to make it work. But I think most people are just running back to what's comfortable for them or playing it safe. How do you know when you can fully trust a man on a mental level? I don't think you ever know that. Like, I don't think there's ever a time. You only know you. Like, you only know what you are capable of. You only know how trustworthy you are. You only know how far you'll go or how loyal you'll be. So I don't even think you should put that much pressure on any other person, whether it's a friendship or a relationship, man or woman. At the end of the day, only you know and only God knows. Nobody else knows. I think the important thing is to build the best friendship that you could possibly build, right? Because we're more patient with our friends and we're kinder to our friends. And me personally, before I might hurt a partner before I'll hurt a friend, you know? I obviously, like, it's no secret, I used to be quite abusive to my son's dad, and I have never put my hands on a friend. And there have been like falling outs where they may have deserved it, or I felt they deserved it, and never once have I. But that just shows like the patience I have for my friends. And that's when I think you can really trust your partner, is when you guys are treating each other like friends, because naturally we take a little more time. The arguments are not as intense. We're not putting our hands on each other. We're just treating each other like friends and having conversations, uncomfortable conversations that sometimes friends have. But I just had an uncomfortable conversation with a friend recently, and although it was hard, I felt like in that moment I was gentle about it, gentler than I would have been to a partner about it. And yeah, so once you know that you guys are friends and you both are treating each other like friends, I think it's a lot easier to let that guard down. What are my deal breakers in a man? I think first I would say my biggest deal breaker is any man who loves the cover of the book more than all of the pages. And when I say that, I feel like I'm a beautiful girl. I'm not shy to that fact. And I think men sometimes treat me like a purse, or rather me be a purse, rather them accept the fact that I'm loud, I'm a little obnoxious, I am talkative as hell, I'll talk your head off, I'm slightly annoying, I'm adventurous, I have so many layers other than just like the surface. And I feel like a lot of the times the people I've chosen have liked the surface of me more than they've liked the deepness, the deeper parts of me. And that is my biggest pet peeve, when you meet me and you see clearly, like, I'm not hiding it. I don't pretend to be anybody else. Like, you meet me, you're like, yeah, this is a pretty girl. I am boisterous. I always have an opinion, and I'm going to talk, and I'm friendly, and not in the sense where I'm untrustworthy, but I like people. I'm a people person, and I'm always smiling and giggling and making jokes, and the room is going to know I'm there, not just from the way I look, but You're gonna hear me in the corner cracking up laughing. That's been my biggest pet peeve, is that they always love me and then they complain about all the other parts, and that just doesn't make sense to me. And I think piggybacking off of the person I have that I deal with right now, is it's I've had the loyal man, I've had the good man, I've had the cheater, and I have never once had the person that was like, this is 7, I take her. I feel like super accepted for like everything that I am. Like, I don't think that they want to change me from my perspective. I think it has made them appreciate me slightly more. Yeah, I really don't like that. I don't like that people, when they want to put me in a box, they want me to be a little less. I have a big personality to go along with my big old heart and my big old smile and my big old head. And yeah, it is just like, I would never understand that. That is one of my biggest pet peeves. Another one is a boring man, like food, throwing tomatoes. Don't try to tone me down because you're boring. I can't do anything about that. And the third one, I would probably have to say a mean man. I do not like when men are mean to me. I can't stand it. Like, I don't like the feeling of it. I don't like, there is nothing funny about you, like, just not being nice to me. Why would you not want to be nice to me or anybody for that matter? Like, and men are mean when they just can't. I understand that it comes from a place of, you have to try to tone me down, which pretty much piggybacks off the first one. Don't try to tone me down by being mean to me. I don't like it. I don't like, and I'm not even saying in the sense of like hitting or yelling. There's just like little things that they do that are mean. Like, yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but I don't like when men are mean to me. Like, be nice to me. I'm nice for the most part. Did I ever feel like I'd never love again? I can't say that I did. But I want to make sure I'm sure, because like I said at the very beginning, I'm so far removed from that relationship that I don't know. I even forget sometimes how bad it was. I wouldn't say I felt like I'd never love again, because I love that baby. Oh my God, even on my saddest days when I wanted to just sit in the closet and I don't want to get upset, but I need like a moment to cry, and then I go back out and sorry, y'all know I'm a crybaby. However, yeah, I would be having the worst day ever, and the baby would do something and I would be like, the baby would do something weird, or Brooke would show up in LA at the time where I was living, and my mom would call and make some funny jokes, and I realized, that I'm still so full of love because I still love these people. This is just one thing. One thing is not going to make me, one person is not going to make me change the way I look at love. So I don't think I never thought I would love again. I'm just shocked that I felt like, oh my God, without this person, life is gonna suck. That's more so what it was. So no, I always understood how real love is, because I'm so full of it. I don't know, love is beautiful, and love was never to me just a relationship. It was always all around me, and nope, I didn't have that experience. I'm sorry if you are, but you will love again. That's the reality of the situation. Maybe because I've had other boyfriends. Me and my first partner were together for 4 years. Me and my best friend dated for 5. Love comes and goes, unfortunately, and you can't keep everybody forever. I mean, it's the same as like, when your grandparents pass, you lose a family member. At some point, we have to hand these people over. We don't own them. And yeah, no, I never felt like that. I'm glad I never felt like that. And I hope none of you ever feel like that, because you will love again. You will heal all those little broken pieces and you will smile again. And it's going to be so exciting because it feels better with every person. And this is where you should be patient, right? Because leaving him, I met somebody else, and oh my gosh, I thought it was the best thing ever. You know, I met somebody else and it was even better than that. And it gets better every time. And it might backtrack sometimes too. I've backtracked, but every time I give it 100% till I can't. So yeah, you'll love again. If I never find love, would I be content with just me and Six? Of course. I think that's my problem. Here is where I think I kind of like make the men in my life, or the men who have come and gone from my life, feel a little replaceable maybe, or as if I don't love them, is because I am so content with like my sister, my mom, my older sisters, my son, like that they have loved me so amazingly, and I'm so grateful for them, that I never need a man. Or let me rephrase this. I've never had a man make me feel as good as Six or Brooke or Jim or baby Tessa or my mom has made me feel. And so, yeah, I get in this like comfort zone where I'm like, who needs that? You know, I have everything right here. But I guess that's when I'll know, when, you know, when that person comes into that world and feels as important as they are to me and as irreplaceable as they are to me. And I don't think anybody's done that yet. Nobody, you know, they'll get close with my sister because they feel like that's what they have to do. You know, it's Brooke, let's get real close to Brooke. And then I have her. And well, it's just a little bit true. But there's also my mom. There's also my sisters. I'm super family oriented. Like, we sit in my mama's house on the couch and we drink and we talk and we laugh. And Six is there and all the other kids that we reproduced are there. And if you can't fit in that dynamic, if you don't work in there, sometimes I'm like, well, you can go. Which is another reason I think I let my son's dad go so easily. He didn't fit. He never wanted to, he tried. I won't say he never tried, but it wasn't genuine. He didn't want to be there. It didn't make him happy to be there. And yeah, I don't know. I get so content with it just being me and Six. I mean, I hope I do find a great man who loves me and my son so I can have some more babies. But I mean, if not, with the worst thing being in the world, adopting or surrogacy. Do I want to be married one day? Absolutely. I would love to get married. I actually have my entire wedding picked out, dress, ring, everything. And I know what I want that man to look like, and I hope I find him. I think love is a beautiful thing. Marriage is a beautiful thing. You know, wanting someone so much and loving someone so much that you want to go in front of God and profess, and your family, and profess that love is a great thing. And I hope it happens for all of us one day, you know? Someone asks, what's the difference between talking and dating? I think this gets confused a lot because people like to purposely confuse things when it's very matter of the fact. Talking is sitting on the phone, texting, just exactly that, FaceTiming. It's just talking. Dating, first date, you are now, the minute that you sit down in front of each other and start going on dates, you are now removed from the talking stage and in the dating stage. We're not just talking anymore. We're not just making communication. We are now dating. So I don't know why people try to confuse that. I'm sure some man tried to like, ooh, no, I'm not going to say that. I don't know why that's confusing when it's very like talking, dating. We're just talking. We haven't been on a date. I haven't seen you. We're just chit-chatting. I see you. We sit down. We're having drinks. We're dating. We're dating. So, yeah, I don't know. Someone said, should sex not happen on the first date? I mean, I don't know. I think there is no right or wrong way to do it. I think you should go with what your body tells you. If your body tells you you want to do something, go ahead. If it doesn't, don't do it. Don't let anybody pressure you to do anything else. I don't think that there's a right or wrong time to do certain things. I'll be a little bit candid, an honest moment. I met Six's dad and we went on a date in the same day and we were together for 7 years. I've had partners where I've waited and we don't work out at all. So I think it's just important to listen to your body. Whatever your body feels, your body will tell you. It always does. Whatever your heart or your mind feels. Judgment-free zone here. Like, whatever it is you want to do it. Just, there's no rule book here. We weren't put here and they were like, this is what we should do. Some man or some woman was like, oh, this is wrong, this is right. Do I think doing it faster changes how people look at you? I think it's dependent on the person. That's why you can't really like gauge it, because some people I know get irritated, like, oh, this girl made me wait. Or some people are like, oh, she gave it up too fast. There's just no way to gauge it. So I would say just listen to how you feel, like however your body feels. If that's what you want to do, you do it. Don't let anybody make you feel bad for it. If you lose them because of it, well, wasn't meant to have it. Last question. Somebody said, how do I get closure? Ask yourself, do you really want closure first? Like, do you really want somebody to sit in front of you and tell you all the reasons why they feel you weren't good enough for them? Not really, not me, because it goes back to the compatibility thing. Like, a relationship is not me. Why am I not good enough? Why am I not pretty enough? Why is my butt not big enough? It is two people. Two people have to mutually agree that they're doing something. And the closure in that is just understanding, like, we are not compatible. Like, take the I out and put the we in there. Relationships are two people. So before you want closure so bad that you listen to somebody tell you all the reasons why you weren't good enough for them, when a lot of those reasons will be so acceptable and perfect for somebody else, the closure is, it's just not for us. And I hope I helped you guys as much as I could with dating advice. You guys are taking dating advice for somebody who is not dating and very single. But I can appreciate, I think, all aspects of all perspectives. I understand why men think the way they think sometimes, and I 100% think women are justified in a lot of their thinking. And the biggest thing, if you guys don't take anything else from this video, is that a lot of it's not personal. Most of it's not. 95, maybe even 98 and 99% of it is not personal. It is all of our first times here. And you have to look at it like, maybe my boundaries could have been a little stronger here. Maybe I could have let my guard down a little more here. But, it's all about two people and connections between two people, and never just about you. So don't take everything so personal and have fun. Like, I hope that while you guys are dating, you're enjoying yourself and having a great old time. And that is what is so important to me, and which is why I stay in my safe zone a little bit, because I feel like I get to have fun there. I get to be myself, judgment free. And whereas other places I've been, they don't really like who I am, which is okay. There's probably somebody out there better for them, not better than me. So yeah, perspective is everything. Don't take anything too personal. Set your boundaries, what you'll accept, what you won't accept, and try to move with a purpose as much as you can. I know we all get off track. That's easier said than done. All of it's easier said than done, but we gotta do it, right? So until next time.